Hi everyone and welcome back to yet another episode of Before You Summon. I am still sick, which makes me quite exhausted. So for this episode we will try a new format that is a bit more condensed and abridged than my normal videos, and you can tell me down in the comments if you enjoy the changes I've made to the format. But with that, we have entered our final event for February, being Connect Heart Message, that will run from February 28th to March 8th. This is a limited mixed event in the pure attribute, with SAKI as the focus character, as well as Emu, Shiho, Leonid Rin, and Wonderland Showtime Meiko as supporting cast. With the exchange shop having 2 cards, Meiko taking the 2-star slot with her card A Very Special Idea, while Shiho takes the 3-star slot with a card Repaid with Gratitude. Meiko is of the cute attribute, while Shiho is of the cool attribute, giving Meiko 1 instance of future usability, while Shiho has 2. Meiko will see use during the event, the Conquering Protagonista, that will run from the 10th of November to the 17th of November, and she is higher gameplay value for this event as she's not available through the gacha. Shiho, on the other hand, will see use in the event Find the Dream View, also known as the 4th and a half anniversary, that will run from the 30th of March to the 6th of April. And Shiho is available through this gacha as a 70% event bonus card, meaning that the exchange shop card is lower gameplay value as she will be available with a higher event bonus from the event in question. The second event where Shiho will see use is Path Made by Faith, that will run from February 10th to February 17th, and Shiho is lower gameplay value for this event as well. We of course also have a gacha available being called Eternal Combat Guardians, that will be available between February 28th and March 10th. This is a standard limited gacha, meaning it abides by standard limited gacha rules, as well as having 3 new cards, all of which are considered the focus cards of the event, meaning they will grant a 70% event bonus for this event, as well as matching the event's attribute being pure. For the cards added with this gacha, Rin has no future usability, while Saki and Emu will see use during the same event. Meaning we will cover them now together as to not having to repeat myself. Both Saki and Emu will see usability in the event Our Golden Days, also known as the 5th anniversary, that will run from the 30th of September to the 9th of October. In the gacha for this event is Anne, Saki, Haruka, Mizuki, as well as the Bloom Festival exclusive Minori and Akito. This of course means that Saki is of lower gameplay value, while Emu is of higher gameplay value as she's never available through the gacha with a 70% event bonus. However, there are more than 5 cards available with a 70% event bonus for this event, meaning that you could build a full team with 70% event bonus cards, making the Emu from Connect Heart Message slightly lower gameplay value. As per usual, I will not go into detail about the World Link situation as I am still working on the second World Link guide, however it is taking a little bit longer than expected. That being said, I will have the dates for the different World Link gachas available somewhere on screen currently. With that being said, let's get into the card showcase, starting with the focus character of the event, Saki, and her card Hard Knock Meeting. Saki is a healer skill card with the skill name Delivering Feelings, with her new costume being called Saint Beast Sorcerer. And if you want to know your alternatives, Saki has 2 other new upcoming limited cards. She of course first shows up in the 5th anniversary event Our Golden Days, once again running from the 30th of September to the 9th of October. She then shows up in the event Fade into the Night Sky Above, that will run from the 30th of November to the 8th of December. As for rerunning gacha, Saki has 2 upcoming ones, as well as a special case that I will save to the end of the card showcase section. As always, the second rerun is the final before the gacha itself is discontinued and the cards join the Recollection Festival gacha pool. With the first gacha we will encounter Saki in being the final rerun of the Welcome to Diner gacha happening in April. with the second gacha being the first rerun of the musical Street Corner gacha that will be happening in November, with no second rerun yet confirmed on the Japanese server. With our second character in the gacha being Emu and her card helping you show thanks. Emu is a scorer skill card with the skill name White Day Harmony, while her new costume is called Beastman Summoner. And Emu, just like Saki, has two upcoming new limited cards. The first event Emu will get a new card in is Deep Dark 4 Light that will run from the 30th of August to the 4th of September. This is then followed by her Bloom Festival card during the event New Year's Blessing Dance of Prayer, and due to her being a Bloom Festival card, she will only be available between December 31st and January 4th. And as for rerunning gacha, she only has a single standard rerun upcoming, but she will also show up in the Asterix gacha we will mention at the end of this section. Her only rerunning gacha being the Godishi Ghastly Get Together gacha that will have its first rerun in September of this year, with no second rerun yet confirmed on the Japanese server. With the final character in the gacha being Rin and her card, No Headpats Thank You. Rin is a Leonid scorer skill card with the skill name A Heart-Pounding Exchange, with her new costume being called Golden Sheep Soldier. And Rin, unlike Saki and Emu, only has a single new upcoming limited card coming from the event New Year's Blessing Dance of Prayer, being one of the event cards, meaning she will be available between December 31st and January 9th. And in addition, Rin only has one single upcoming rerun as well, being the final rerun of the Emotional Music March gacha happening fittingly in March. That covers all three of the cards being added with the Eternal Combat's Guardian gacha. However, we shall also address the elephant in the room. Both Emu and Saki is of course available through the Sanrio collaboration gacha. And with the recent announcement, we know for certain that the first rerun of the Sanrio collaboration gacha is just around the corner for the English server. Meaning that the leaks that have been shared around that the Sanrio collaboration's first rerun will be happening in March for global is probably true. And this rerun should be available between March 5th and March 18th on the global server, but we haven't gotten the official green light on those dates just yet, as I am recording this episode before the Colorful Corner goes live. Of course, both Saki and Emu will be available through this rerun, and I as always want to make it very clear that this is probably your final opportunity to pull from the Sanrio collaboration gacha for a very long time once again. I really do hate saying it in that way, but I also want to make it clear to everyone that the collaboration gachas are very volatile. They only show up sporadically, and they often do so without any announcement or warning. And while I want to make it very clear that you should consider this your final opportunity to pull from this gacha for a very long time, as we can never be certain when a collaboration gacha will, or if they will ever have another rerun, I also want to remind everyone to not fall victim to FOMO. If you don't like the cards in the Sanrio collaboration gacha, or you do not have the crystal, do not feel pressured into pulling or spending money you do not have. This is a game after all, and we should all try to have fun. So while I want to be very forward and clear with everyone so no one misses their opportunity, that this is probably your final opportunity in a very long time, if forever, to pull from the Sanrio collaboration gacha, I just want to remind everyone to not fall victim to the pressure of FOMO. These cards are available through different formats online. They are not impossible to find. They are not lost media. You can always look at them through the wiki or other sources. Do not feel pressured into spending money or crystals that you're saving for something else or you do not have. But with that out of the way, we can get into the new format for the event team building. Of course, this is a mixed event with 2 virtual singers, meaning it's only Rin and Meiko who can grant a 50% event bonus as long as they are the correct attribute and unit. The attribute this time around is of course pure, and Rin has to either be Leonid or unitless, while Meiko has to be Wonderland Showtime or unitless to be able to grant the 50% event bonus. And this is the full event team building roster for Connect Heart Message. Outside of the standard collaboration cards, which are limited, we do have 3 asterisks when it comes to 2-star and 3-star cards. The 3-star Shio from the event Wedding Live with Everyone entered the standard gacha pool with the event time to take off in January of this year, meaning she has only been in the standard gacha pool for a few events. Meaning there has been a pretty slim opportunity to snag this Shio if you did not play during Wedding Live with Everyone. In addition, the 2-star Shio from This Moment With You and the 3-star Saki from the event As the Leaf Changed Color Once More has not yet entered the standard gacha pool, meaning if you did not play during those events, you have no way of having these cards. And as for the 4-star cards, this time around we have 15 available, with 7 of these cards being permanent and 8 of them being limited. With the most notable events among these being the best summer ever, Don't Lose Faith, Stick It to Your Faith, and finally Here on Our Dream Stage, also known as the 4th anniversary. All of these events brought more than 1 card to the event team building, making them quite noteworthy if they are some of your favorite events. However, I don't think I really need to go into the nitty-gritty details why this event team building is among the worst we have seen in a very long time. While Rin's selection of cards is actually quite decent for being a mixed event virtual singer, having a old 3-star card, a permanent 4-star card, as well as her unitless Bloom Festival exclusive card available, it does not make up for the fact that Meiko only has a single card, being her World Link Unit Limited card. Meaning that if you don't have a very specific card, a Unit Limited World Link event no less, you have absolutely 0 cards available to you in the slot where Meiko should go. And even mentally excluding the fact that Rin and Meiko are massive problems, as virtual singer usually are during mixed events, this event team building is heavily reliant on limited events, with more than 50% of the event team roster being limited. Even if you exclude the Bloom Festival Rin and the World Link Meiko, that's still 6 limited cards versus 7 permanent. And one of the permanent cards comes from a limited event in the form of the Best Summer Ever. So the event team building is not only slim, it also relies on several events that I know for a fact are not very popular in the global sphere, such as Don't Lose Faith. Which makes this a very slim and narrow event team building that will probably be very bad for most players, late or early game alike. But I think I've gotten my point across when it comes to the event team building for Connect Heart Message. I just really hope that most players can get together a team with a 200% event bonus if you're an early game player, or you can reach 250 to 260 if you are a mid to late game player. As per usual, once the event ends, we will see an after show that will be available between March 8th and March 9th. Participating during the allotted time period will grant you 300 crystals and a stamp, the stamp this time around of SAKI called Thanks for Everything. And with this being a mixed event, there is no commissioned song attached to the event. But with that, we have covered everything you need to know about the event Connect Heart Message. While the event team building is among the worst we have seen in a long while, it is at least not the worst event. As we all know, that title goes to Let Sekai Hear Your Song. And despite this fact, I do really love the aesthetics and the cards from this event. The train card art have such a nice vibe, and I do think that the costumes and hairstyles being added with the game are among the greater ones, even if I will personally not be pulling for them. And the confirmation of the Sanrio collaboration rerun this early on the global server is really a worrisome downer in my opinion. I really don't have the energy to actually talk about it in more details and my feelings, however, I do really not like the pattern that we're currently seeing on the global server, and it does worry me quite a bit. However, I rather wanna hear what you think about the new structure and the new, more condensed event team building. While this event guide did become a bit longer as I had to talk about the Sanrio collaboration event rerun, I do think that this more condensed event team building section will help make the videos more shorter and more easily digestible in the future. So please, in the comments, tell me what you think. Is there anything I should add back? Is there anything I should change? Or is there anything I should mention when it comes to the event team building specifically? I always try to be idle ear and read as many comments as possible, however, with me being sick and also having a lot going on with my work outside of YouTube, I have had a hard time to keep up with comments and also you guys' opinions, but seeing as I've changed the format once again, I really will be reading comments. And while you're down there typing away your comment, make sure that you're subscribed, have rung the bell, left a like, and maybe even share this video with a friend who needs some help with Project Sekai. All of these things help immensely in my growth as a channel. And finally, I of course want to extend a special thank you to all of my Patreons for continuously supporting me. With an extra big and warm thank you to all of my append players being Bambi, Katie, Gabby C, Helen P001 Star, Mia Marie 21, Opal Siren, Petterish, Shoop, and Veritas Uwu. All of these guys are amazing for continuously supporting me, and if you wanna join them in supporting me for as little as $1 a month, a link will be down in the description to my Patreon. But with that, I have rambled far long enough about the event Connect Heart message. Let's get out of here for the week.